Now, after tragic attacks such as the one in New Zealand at the two mosques, it can be very tempting for people on the opposite end or the opposing end of the political ideology that any last given attack comes from to start perhaps exploiting the opportunity in the event to go after their political opponents. Now, something I think I want just to raise the flag of alarm for you, because just like ISIS, the Soviet Union was incredibly adept and skilled at exploiting crises and tragedies, like the one in New Zealand, to go after their political opponents, to make lists of enemies of the people, and to start purging them from society in the name of the revolution. And so, in particular, what that would do would be to satisfy the bloodlust of the mob and to conveniently remove any of their critics from society in the name of peace. It's incredibly Orwellian. And so after this attack in New Zealand, I caution people on the political left in particular and Muslim communities. I advise and caution people not to turn this into an opportunity to settle political scores, grind ideological axes, and purge your political opponents from the mainstream. There is a difference between individuals who incite violence and individuals who express political views that you do not agree with. And so some of these lists, and I've seen them with my own eyes, I've been posting about them today, some of these lists, and yes, it is as terrifying as that, lists of individuals who have been deemed personas non grata being pushed out there by very well established left-wing, far-left and pro-Islamist commentators saying these are the individuals you need to go for after the New Zealand attack. It is as terrifying as what the people must have felt like after the purges, for example, in the Soviet Union. This is not how to behave. Yes, the attack that happened in New Zealand was horrific, an act of terrorism by a far-right extremist. Yes, Muslim communities are scared right now. But the solution to that isn't to make other people as scared by inciting a mob to go after them, as if we've suddenly forgotten the Manchester Arena attack, as if we've suddenly forgotten that jihadists also go and kill people. And if you start listing people in this way, you're providing targets, a hit list for jihadist terrorists to go around eliminating people. As if we haven't forgotten that the far left also has its extremists and they make the Jewish community in this country feel terribly unsafe. So when you start publishing lists of personas non grata in this way, how are you not embarking upon a purge? This is not the opportunity. This is not an opportunity for you to go after your political opponents, exploiting this tragedy for your own political ideology. That is cynical, opportunistic, insincere and disingenuous. The extremists right now that are threatening our security, I call them the triple threat. They come from three directions. The last attack happened to be by a far-right anti-Muslim terrorist. But before that, we had a jihadist attack the Manchester Arena in a similar way, with a gun. And we've had far-left extremists making the Jewish community feel unsafe. It's the triple threat. So remember that. When we respond to these things, what we mustn't do is maneuver in such a way that we inadvertently empower an extremist from another end of the political spectrum. Stop compiling lists of people you don't like, for goodness sake, people. It is dangerous. Lists are for fascists. And if the far left, as they did when they accosted pregnant Chelsea Clinton in New York and blamed her for the New Zealand attack, the far left, if they start behaving in a way where they seek division and disagreement before seeking common ground, then there's no difference between them and the far right.